Now that The Rise of Skywalker is out, one of the things that hasn't really been touched on is the nature of Kylo Ren's cracked lightsaber crystal. We see in the movies that Kylo Ren's broadsword-inspired lightsaber, with its signature crossguard hilt, isn't a stable beam of light like you see in most lightsabers. It sizzles and cracks with menace, an admittedly badass addition to the Star Wars canon. The reason his lightsaber crystal is cracked is revealed in the visual dictionary. His lightsaber crystal is cracked, leading to an unstable light beam. But why is it cracked? I think it's important to go with what has been revealed so far in canon as foundation. My theory on his cracked focus crystal is based on two things that we know in canon. First is his conflicted nature of Kylo Ren, and the second is the process by which a dark side user turns an existing lightsaber crystal red. It was revealed in some of the newer comics, the new canon explanation of why a dark side user's lightsaber emits a crimson color. Unlike in the old Legends canon, where the focus crystal is harvested from a special place or it's simply synthesized, the new canon explanation seems much more fitted for a dark side user. A dark side user, when constructing a new lightsaber, must first conquer an enemy and harvest that enemy's existing focus crystal. Focus crystals, called kyber crystals, are normally a clear, neutral color. When a Force user obtains one, they form a sort of bond to the crystal itself, and the crystal takes on attributes of the user wielding it, leading to its color such as blue, green, purple, or others. As revealed in the comics, when Anakin Skywalker became Darth Vader, he needed to construct a new lightsaber. The Emperor gave him permission and a mission to confront and conquer an existing Jedi, steal his lightsaber, and bend the focus crystal's will to his own.
Do you know why our blades are red, Lord Vader?
No, Master. The Jedi teachings on this subject were incomplete.
Ha! The fools hid the knowledge they found uncomfortable. They could not face the darker truths, and they paid the price. A red saber is no different than any other, except it has been made to bleed. The crystal from any Jedi's saber will do. As you know, the Kybers are alive in their way. Like any living thing, they can feel pain. Through the dark side, you must pour your pain into the crystal, and when at last the agony becomes more than it can stand, a beautiful crimson, the color of your rage. Do you understand, Lord Vader?
Yes. You could have given me any one of those lightsabers to corrupt, even Yoda's. But you did not. The saber of a Sith is not given. It is taken.
You must seek out a Jedi from whom to take a Kyber crystal. A daunting task indeed, after our success together in eradicating them from the galaxy. However, I have a great faith in your resourcefulness and capability. Go now, my apprentice. Embrace the dark side, bend it to your will, and it will provide everything you need. Your power will become endless, Lord Vader, and then we shall rule as one.
First of all, let's remember that we already know that when a dark side user builds a lightsaber and takes a crystal from a conquered enemy, the reason that the crystal turns a crimson color is that the dark side user literally makes the crystal bleed, as it forces the crystal to bend its will to his. Kylo Ren's cracked lightsaber crystal is a testament to the conflicted nature within him. My theory is that his lightsaber crystal reflects him perfectly, in the very process by which he created his crackling lightsaber. Do you remember when he proclaims that his old self was weak and foolish like his father, so he destroyed him?
He was weak and foolish like his father, so I destroyed him.
He knew that wasn't true, and you can hear it in his voice. Adam Driver delivers that line beautifully. You can hear the desperate plea to himself that it has to be true. His proclamation was another desperate attempt to fool himself into believing that Ben Solo was dead. After he burned the Jedi Temple, He took the lightsaber of Ben Solo, his old conquered self. He hadn't defeated and snuffed out the light within himself. He was simply trying to convince himself that he had. I think that his complete turn to the dark side was too soon. He thought his master had tried to kill him, so he ran away in fear. He turned himself over to the dark side because he felt like he had no other choice at that point. It was time to jump off the fence. When a dark side user creates a red crystal, it's done using an existing lightsaber crystal from a conquered enemy, as we saw in the new comic series about Darth Vader creating his Sith lightsaber. Except Ben Solo wasn't conquered. It creates conflict and anguish in Kylo Ren. When he frustratingly yells, "No, you're still holding on."
Holding on! Let go!
You can hear the desperation in his voice, because he knows all too well the consequences of not fully committing to the path you decide to go on. Snoke was very insightful when he declared that when he killed his father, that the deed split his spirit to the bone. So now you have an imbalanced, indecisive boy who is trying to pretend he is something that he really isn't. He's holding the lightsaber crystal of Ben Solo. He channels all of his malice, his hatred, his resentfulness of his mother and uncle and his distant father. He was a boy with all the anger issues of an adolescent, but with none of the reasons and true conviction of a real dark side user. He was simply going through the motions, trying to make himself believe in the path. He had love. He had family. Still, he persisted, attempting to bend the will of his old lightsaber crystal. But you cannot fool the Force as easily as you can fool yourself. The weight of his imbalance all came crashing down on this inanimate object, splitting his lightsaber crystal in two halves of a single crystal, trying to be two things at once, just like a boy trying to be two different things. Everything about his dark side life was more about trying to convince himself. The mask, the cracked crystal, the lies he told himself that he destroyed Ben Solo, the murder of his own father. None of these things served any purpose other than to try and convince himself that he's something that he is not. And his crackling lightsaber is a physical reminder and testament to his conflicted soul. Thank you for watching. Please take a moment and visit my main channel, NightDocs, where I delve into dark and macabre mysteries about internet and society. This is my second channel, where I'll be posting videos about topics that are just simply on my mind. Thank you for watching, and may the Force be with you.